Got another accessory video here for the 2024 Ford Maverick. I bought this. This is the bank from Acro. It's got the little coin slot there, and I just drilled that hole there for a USB, but it's come with the fits attachment here. You can see it's here on the back of this phone mount. So I actually ordered this with the fits with the 17mm ball, but Acro didn't inform me of it no longer being available. So he instead sent me this bank and then the other one with the little squares in the front and stuff. I guess to try to console not being able to get the ball joint, but I wanted the ball joint for this phone mount to go on here, so I had to rig it up actually. Right here where the phone mount attaches to the fits, I had to take 2 screws and I cut them. It was 1.25 inch drywall screw I had to cut in half, and I actually screwed this plate onto the fits. You can see where the wanted to come out. I pre-drilled it with the whole screw first, and that's where they came out. So I sanded that back off, but it attached fine there once I had to do that. But kind of sucks having to do that after paying $42 to get that bank cubby here with the fits attachment with the 17mm ball, which he did not send me. So, but anyways, that right there, it'll slide right into that fits attachment and locks into place there. So I used this step drill bit here, drilled to about the 1.25 inch it looks like. But I'm going to take this USB here, and I'm going to put this in the top of right here into the top of this where I drilled that hole, which I think I did a pretty good job drilling it. I did have to take some sandpaper and sand the top of that off, so I think this will be a great accessory to be able to charge stuff and be able to hide my cables. So there is that in there now, so that's what it will look like, and I'll be able to wire it up and still be able to use the bank. So if you look from the side profile, it's not sticking out, you know, up here up top. That USB is not sticking out, so it'll slide right in there just fine, and I'll be able to put a cable right there and use cables for my phone or my watch or whatever else I might want to charge. But then you'll still be able to use the coin slot if you want and drop some coins down in there. But otherwise, I don't know where I'm gonna drill holes, if I'm gonna drill them up here or down here in the corner for the wiring to run, but I'm gonna run some wiring up to this, and then you'll plug it into the fuse box panel there on the passenger side, and I'll put in a fuse that will be on all the time so I can charge my phone even when the truck's not running. So that's the start of it. Alright, I'm gonna install this cubby mount today. I'm gonna put a hole down in the bottom of the cubby mount up here, probably in this back corner for my wiring to go through for my USB. And if you ever didn't want that cubby mount there, you just slide that piece of rubber that come out of the cubby mount there. It looks like this. Just slide that back in there and it'll cover your holes up. So I think it'll be pretty simple. Drill a hole in the corner there, and then I'll take the cubby mount here, put a hole down here in the back corner of it, and run it up through to my USB plug. I got the glove box here out. You just push on these. There'll be 2 clips on the side of it. You'll push in, and there'll be this little black bar. Just take a little pair of pliers and squeeze the button there on the end, and that comes out, and then the whole glove box will come out. So that wire will come through right down through there. It'll run down, and then run it down through here into the fuse box on the passenger floor. So we'll see how that goes. Got the power hooked up to the back through the bottom of the cubby mount box now. Looks like there's a little red wires. You can see they're wrapped up some. There's actually one of those black circular fuses there in the middle of the red wire, so I had to leave a little bit in the cubby box. But the ground, the black wire there, just ran right up through and connected it, so I'll have a little bit more of it left over. But I taped it about every 3 or 4 inches with black electrical tape, to keep it together when I run it through the hole, and just drilled a hole right there in the back in that angled part, and I used a 1/4 inch drill bit there, so I'll use a 1/4 inch drill bit in the bottom of the cubby mount in the truck too to slide the wire through and to wire it to the fuse box. So we'll see how that goes. So there I drilled kind of in the bottom back corner there of the cubby mount box area in this weird cubby. You should be able to, you know, put that rubber back in and cover it up if you ever decided not to use the cubby mount. But that's the hole back in that corner, and I did it without taking any of this stuff off. But you got to be real careful your drill bit don't go through too far, because you'll hit your, looks like your air duct or something back behind that corner. So that's really the only place you could drill it, was in that corner that you could see from down here up underneath the glove box compartment. So I went ahead and used the extension on my drill there just to make it a little easier. I used that 1/4 inch drill bit there, so we'll see if this wire will fit through. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you here. See where I ran that's the black wire, and I put it on that nut. Took that nut and washer off and put the ground wire underneath it. And then out to here is where I put this fuse splice. Connected it to my red wire right there, which it come with the connector. I got my fuse splice right there. So the top one here is going to be I put a 20 amp in there. It won't need that much for the USB, of course, but it come with either 10 or 20 amp fuses, that kit that come with these splices or these fuse taps here. It goes in the top, and then your one out of your vehicle, which is this 10 amp one, will go on the bottom closest to where the fuse will go back in. So I'm looking on the fuse panel down here, and I pulled number 20 out, which is right up here, number 20. Looking at the book here, it says number 20 is a 10 amp, not used spare. So we'll see if it will charge your phone while the key's on, or if it's just or if it'll do it all the time. That's my goal. I want mine all the time, so we'll see if that will charge my phone all the time. Well, I've got everything hooked up down below in the fuse panel. The key is not in the ignition. There's no other lights on in here, so we'll see if fuse number 20 stays on all the time or just when the key's on. Looks like the light come on. See that blue light come on in there? So that means fuse number 20 is on all the time, so you can charge your phone, watch, headlamps, whatever, AirPods or something, you know, whenever you wanted to, and not have to rely on the key being on. So that's what I wanted personally. If I decide to change it later, I can always move the fuse, but this particular USB here, it's got this on-off button. So if I'm not using it for an extended period of time, I can always go reach up there and click it off, so it's not using any power whatsoever. This is the kit here that come with those USBs. It was a 2-pack actually for, I think it was like 10 bucks. Come with USBs and a few wire fittings there, connectors, and it come with a ground and regular hot wires. So that was the 2-pack there for, like I said, about 10 bucks. And then here's these fuse splices, come with these connectors. So you just stick your red wire here right into this to connect it. And I will say I did have to, see those little prongs there of the fuse, I did bend those to the right. So I bent them this way when I put it in the fuse box and fuse 20 down there, because that fuse splice did not, see if we can see it here, that fuse splice did not want to go in because of the big green block there. So I had to put the wire downward, so I bent it so it would go over the other fuses there underneath that red and yellow one that's connected to the self-tap. So that right there worked perfect, and I'm happy with the outcome up here in the cubby mount box. So I can keep my mount here, my magnetic mount. I can slide it right into the fits. Locks right in, nice and tight with the USB connected right above it. You can still use it as a bank or whatever else you wanted to, so I'm pleased with the outcome. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.